Hey folks, so, well, I've been out and bought myself something, or should I say I bought the wife and I something. Yeah, we've been and got a caravan. Just an old caravan, because neither of us go on, we're not that big holiday people, that kind of thing. And so we thought, well, let's get a caravan and we can go for weekends, days away, that kind of stuff, and enjoy it. And it also gives me something to do. You know, paint it out, repairs, that kind of stuff. It's an old caravan, 1986 I think, so that makes it around about 30 years old. So obviously there's a lot of repairs to do in it. It's dry, that's the main thing, and could be enjoyable. So what's my first mission? My first mission is to look at the lighting. This is one of the units that's actually in it at the moment. It's the fluorescent unit that I've just yanked out. And I thought, well, you know, battery power's at a premium. It is a mains caravan as well as a 12-volt caravan. But these things, what power do they draw? I don't know. And then let's plug it in and find out, I guess. I prefer the look of the LED lights. So this is 12 volts. Let's switch it on. So that's on. And that's... Is that on? Yeah, that's on. That's a good start. So, let's open up and see what I'll switch that off. Sorry about the wobbling there. My camera's mounted onto the same thin piece of metal that my power supply is, and that's why I tend to get a bit of vibration as well. I'm going to have to do something, get a piece of wood to give it a bit of extra support or something on those lines. Okay, so that'll be why there's no light bulbs in it. Right, that's great. So that's a non-starter. Yeah, I'll go and get some light bulbs. Okay, well there we go. So I now have bulbs, surprisingly enough. Yeah, I'm going to leave that in. It's just don't tell anybody that I made that huge cock up trying to switch it on without bulbs in. Okay, so let's get these bulbs in and get this bad boy powered up and see what happens. The bulbs are F8T5, so I'll make a note of that. As to whether that is 8 watts or 5 watts, I'm not sure, but there's a pair of them. Be interested to see what the current draw is. Obviously we could work out the current draw from just having that information. The voltage we know. It goes in and rolls 90 degrees, which that did that. Oh no, oh it doesn't. Yes it does. So it just swings back. So some bulbs, as you probably will already know, you put them in and the whole end swivels around inside. These just, so there's a copper contact on this side and it's dropping down there. Now I'm not going to be sure whether, oh there we go. So yeah, that's about as bright as they get in the caravan as well actually. So that's running 12 volts. Current draw is 300 milliamps. Yeah, they're not very bright. I'm going to leave them on for a couple of minutes while I'm going to switch off this backlight to hopefully improve what can be seen, and probably close the curtains. Get rid of the daylight. Don't like daylight. I'm ginger and it makes me die and do things like that and follows me. Yeah, that's not glowing well. As you can see, the tubes are about gone anyway. This is quite common. Just going to spin it round so that we've got the horrible end at the same end on both of them. Not sure which way around they were in originally, but yeah, that's garbage, isn't it? Garbage. Yeah. What I'm going to replace them with? Ta-da! LEDs. So these are just a standard 12 volt LED strip. 5360 I think the package type is. It's not the standard little ones, it's some other package size I hadn't seen before, so I thought I'd give them cheapest chips, and you can see why if you have a look at how the LEDs are barely on the strip in half the places. So I thought, yeah, let's get it swapped over to LEDs. LEDs. This I've got bought 2 strips. One is I'm going to leave one on the reel. So basically, all I'm going to do here, let's switch the power supply off, is LED strip. As you most probably well know, you can trim it at the copper pads. And so all I'm going to do, exactly that. As to how many wide, I'll probably go 4 wide, I think. Now I've got another one of these lights, so this one I'm going to video doing it, and the next one I'll just do it. So if I decide I'm going to cut 4 off, if I only use 3, that's fine. But we should be able to get a good indication as to how light it's going to be just with this one. So there's our 3 there, our 4 rather. Disconnect the wiring, and let's have a look at what we can take out of this. I will dispose of these tubes in a responsible manner, which doesn't mean just throwing it into somebody else's garden or somebody else's trash. We've got a disposal area down at the local refuse dump, which I shall be using to get rid. So how does this appear to work? So we've got some screws at the ends, screws along the middle, so I think I need to get this heat shield off, or this shield of some sort, a reflector of some sort, which is just a piece to be held on with these little twisted metal doodads. So get them undone, and obviously, oh there we go, use only 8-watt fluorescent tubes. So I'll let you do the math. 2 8-watt fluorescent tubes, how much current is that going to draw? Yeah, so that's appears to have had a leak of some sort in there. So that come off that way around, so around there. Yeah. Ooh, that doesn't look very nice, does it? Quite awesome though, the fact that it's been working all this time without any issue. Yeah, so let's get that off. So we just need these little screws out. And what I'm going to do is just lay the LED strip directly onto the back panel. Might give it a wipe off with some acetate. Acetone, apologies. Oh, that's well crispy. That's not transferring anything at all. Yeah, give it a wipe off some acetone just to give it a surface to stick to, and whack them straight on there and see how well they stick. And yeah, just play it by ear from there really. Lay them down, connect the cabling up, and see how it looks. I've got a sneak suspicion it's going to look pretty cool. I've actually gone the colour of white. As you know, there's a number of different colour whites you can get. I've gone for a cold white because it's just brighter, although I prefer the look of warm white. For this application I think cold white will be the better option. But then, hey, you never know, I might change my mind. Tempted to actually get some more of these light units, or light units similar, because something tells me these haven't been made in this century. And actually see if I can get all the fluorescent ones and convert them over just for the hell of it, so that I can replace them with warm white bulbs as opposed to warm white LEDs as opposed to cold white LEDs. I was talking to the guys at work today and telling them what I'm doing, and they were like, oh, you're going to put RGBs in or programables. Like, well, no, I don't want to be sort of trying to get to sleep while I'm in the middle of some caravan camp somewhere and have some dodgy disco crap going on. This is just purely practicality. It's nothing, just as basic as that. So I'm thinking, nice plain white light. It'll be easy to do things by as well, because obviously in the evenings, although it's got a 240 volt hookup, which is something else I'm going to be testing, going through the 240 volts, see what happens. Well, not so much see what happens, make sure it looks okay. So that's the driver for the tube. it's just making sure that it does the charging side, because the 240 volt I believe is supposed to charge a 12 volt battery. So although it's supposed to have a leisure battery, it's actually got an old car battery of some sort in there. So I might have to, I don't have a load tester for the battery to be able to test that, so I'll probably go around to my local garage and ask them if they'll stick a load on it and do a load test and make sure it's okay. Right, I'm just going to grab acetone and cloths. I find these cloths, it's I steal them off the wife to I don't know, pull makeup off or something like that, or do her nails, or what other strange things women do with these lotions, potions and all that sort of stuff. Right, let's get that out of the way for now. So that's the switch positive, now negative. On a micro switch that pokes through, it sits in there, and that's just a loose piece of plastic in there, which is quite simple but effective. It looks really naff though, doesn't it, to be honest. So yeah, acetone, eternal beauty, suits me nicely. What I actually got this for my 3D printer. On my 3D printer I tend to clean off the bed with acetone. I use ABS, so I'll clean off with acetone, and I put a thin layer of oh hell, what's it called? Hairspray. So yes, I steal wife's hairspray as well. I don't have enough hair to actually worth bothering doing anything with. So yes, I do put hairspray on it, and my 3D prints stick perfect. Never have any problems with them lifting at the edges or anything like that. So if any of you guys are 3D printers, yeah, acetone to clean it off. A spray when it's cold. A spray of hairspray, and the bed is a heated bed, and heat the bed up to 110 degrees. Alright, so that's going that way around. Positive, let's see. So the wires come through that gap there, so yeah, it's going to be 3, isn't it? Yeah, and I'm just trying to see where I can see the arrows, because normally there's an arrow to say put the power in this end. But if we make the assumption being the mother of all fuck ups, in fact what we'll do is get this one, have a look, and go, right, so the power comes in, and it's in so that you can see the 12 volt positive is the right way up. Normally there is an arrow on these to say which way around the 12 volts can go in. Very odd, never mind, who cares, we're good in there. Yeah, so I'm going to put them in. Let's make it so I can read it a bit easier. I'm going to put them in there. 1, 2, 3, yeah, I like that. So I'll get these laid in. What I'm going to do also is trim the ends so that I can solder them properly. Which will just be a case of just cutting through the rubber slightly, and then connecting all positives together and all the negatives together, so they'll all be sat there in parallel. I'm not going to do them in series, I'm going to do them all in parallel. I'm not too worried about voltage drop. I don't think it would make any difference actually. So, but yeah, it's just for easy use. Right, okay, so I shall get that done and come back to you shortly. Okay, so that's that done. Gotchas. Well, what gotchas did I find? Yes. So I found that the ends here, when they'd cut, just to be on the safe side, I grabbed my meter, banged down to ohms pretty much anyway. It's just to do a quick continuity test. And when I checked from positive to earth, I was actually getting continuity. And then I checked from earth, I was like, oh, shit, I'm getting continuity on both. So it's a good job I didn't actually throw it back in. Found the reason. When I'd cut the ends of these wires, of the strips, it turned out that when I peeled the backing off, the strip was actually appeared to be touching the surface of the metal. So what I've done is I've put some tape at the background there, which is going to serve two purposes. One is going to give that protection, and two, it helps to hold these wires in place. So these are the clockwise, so we've got again live and neutral. And I guess we're ready to. The big question is, do I put it together for the reveal, or do I? Yeah, tell you what, let's have a look at what it looks like without the cover on. So we'll get to see the Road lorry. I don't know if the plug is on or off, the switch is on or off at the moment, so let's see what happens. There's going to be a bang or... Okay, so that's good there. Oh shit! Yeah, that's bright. Yeah, that's probably just swamped out the cat. That's really bright. Okay, yeah, that's... Wow, that's a lot brighter than I was expecting. Pulls a bit more current as well, which is a surprise. It's actually pulling, was pulling 600 milliamps. Good, bad, don't know. Anyway, so let's get the diffuser on and play it from there, I guess. So that's going to go on there. That is going to go on there. Bit of a tight fit. Yeah, I need a bit of poking. Hopefully it'll... Oh, there we go. I was stuck. Yeah, right. So let's get that lashed in. Quite looking forward to seeing just how good this is, because that was surprisingly bright. Shockingly so. But hey, it's a Caravan, low light, yada yada yada. That appears to work. Switch is working. Positive. Negative, switch on. So that's our feed. Wah! That'll do. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I would say that's a roaring success. So I'll get that put back in the Caravan. That's used 3 strips, by the way. What I did is also, as I peeled the rubber covering off, don't know whether that's going to help or hinder, but it just seemed like a good idea at the time. How did I get the rubber strip off? Because I've fought with this in the past loads of times. Yet this one, let's switch it off so you can see. So you can see this has got the rubber covering on, the waterproof. I found that I could actually get my nail behind that and lift it. Now normally what I've done is I've sliced there and peeled around for ages, and then I just gently teased it off. Worked well. So what we'll do though is, so I don't know how much diffusion that gives us. So we're to do that. Do that, yeah. So, yeah, I think it does give a level of diffusion, doesn't it? And you definitely lose some light there, because these 3 there are actually quite bright to the eyes, whereas these here, they're not too bad. That's quite cool. Anyway, yeah, happy with that. Well, just out of interest, that is pulling 384 milliamps at 12 volts. So yeah, so basically I just tickled them off. They do get quite warm, but with this being stuck onto a metal backplate, it's cool, I guess you could say. There we go, and that's that. And so it was easy as that to get that off. And I'll put the person who I got these off down in the down the bit at the bottom. But they're actually only £6 a roll, 6 quid for 5 meters. So you can't expect the greatest of quality. But LEDs, there's quality differences. Don't know. Yes, if you're buying the big ones, the Cobs or the 10 watt and that kind of thing, where you've got multiple LEDs on them and various types of rays, then yes, there is a difference, and you must always try and get as best as you can afford. But I think for these strips, yeah, good enough. So just bear in mind, the soldering isn't amazing. You know, these could be classed as second user. You know, if I was buying a job lot of these and was using them for a very special job, these would be instantly rejected, because that is, which is probably why they are like they are, as cheap as they are, because, you know, anybody wanting them for a pro job would reject them. So that's that, yeah. Woohoo! I are having lights. I'm happy.